Nigeria is an IDP camp as long as citizens are living in IDP camps, Peter Obi says. Wow. We remember that Peter Obi on Christmas Day visited the ID camp in Benue State and was hosted by the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom. All right. And there he offered his gesture to the people in ID camp and also, encouraged them to remain hopeful, hoping that they will take over government come 2023 and then they will improve their life from the ID camp, all right, IDP camp. And that was where Otom was so impressed. And Otom said, if not that he's in PDP, he would have gone round to campaign for Peter Obi, meaning Peter Obi is his candidate. All right, so Peter Obi from that visit is now saying that Nigeria is an IDP camp as long as citizens are living in IDP camps. And that is true. And there are a lot of people that are actually internally displaced, but they're not in IDP camps. Some are in their houses, but they're internally displaced. Some have gone to their family members after terrorist activities in their neighborhood and in their communities, like in Ondo State and Oyo State. Those areas, a lot of, even in the northern state, a lot of people are not in IDP camps. They've just gone to their family relatives to stay with, and or probably some have moved to other communities to stay, to help themselves. All right, some have even packed out of each state to another state to seek for refuge and security. Okay, so we have more people in IDP camps than those physically in IDP camps. Some are using their homes and some other places as IDPs not known to government. So I can agree with Peter Obi that Nigeria is an IDP camp as long as we have a lot of citizens in IDP camps, whether known by government or not known by government. All right, there are so many internally displaced people. Some are not in government-registered IDP camps, are finding refuge elsewhere. So Peter Obi might be correct in this regard. Let's see what he has to say further. IDP camps will continue to exist in Nigeria as long as residents are compelled to flee their homes, according to Mr. Peter Obi, a presidential candidate for the Labour Party. Professor Akin Oshutokun responded to questions from journalists yesterday journalists from Abuja following the announcement of the new Director General of the Obidati Presidential Campaign Council. He stated that his aspiration was based on his belief that Nigerians deserve better leadership than they are currently receiving. We are working to make Nigeria better, he remarked. I've been traveling and seeing individuals in challenging situations, like those living in IDP camps throughout this time. Okay, Nigeria is a nation. As a nation, it's an IDP camp. If Nigerians are forced to leave their homes and live in IDP camps, since these are Nigerians who belong in their homes, the goal of government is to look out for its citizens, and the least fortunate are those who get the most care from the government. I pledge to make sure that no Nigerian has to live in an IDP camp, and that every Nigerian goes to bed and wakes up glad to be a Nigerian. Right? He expressed optimism that the nation's young people, whom he characterized as resourceful and diligent, were ready to take back the country and make it work for everyone this time around. He asserted that young people in Nigeria are not idle. Rather, they were only seeking for chances to compete well with their peers on the international scene. He said the sort of leadership he and his group were providing Nigerians would make such ambitions come true. He has already clarified that removing Okupe as campaign DG did not result in a shift in tactics. That's a good one. He said that the party's pledge to retake Nigeria from the forces that have left it in ruins is still part of his campaign plan. So this is a very good one. Peter Obi is saying here that Nigeria is an IDP camp as long as citizens are in IDP camps. All right. So he has gone around and said he has seen a lot of people displaced, people leaving their homes, But the intention of his government, if he eventually wins the election called 2023, is to make Nigeria a better place for everybody. Nigeria has to be a country where people can go to bed and wake up and be proud to be a Nigerian. The goal of government is actually to provide safety, security, and care for its citizens. Unfortunately, that is not happening under the current administration or even in previous administrations. Now Nigeria is a killing ground where you can go out and you cannot, ascertain that you can come back except God be with you. All right. Anybody can just go out on the street now and probably don't come back home. That is how bad the country is. That is how it has degenerated into. Unfortunately, the government is not doing anything about it. In fact, the current government seems to be incapacitated and no longer capable of handling security matters in the country. All right, they are just raising propagandas. They are, in fact, just a bunch of propagandists as long as security and safety in this country is concerned. But Peter Obi is telling everybody that his own government will make sure that they provide the security and safety and make Nigeria a better place for everyone. That the young people are determined to take back the country from the hands of those people that have, besieged it over the years as political fathers and politicians. All right, and their intention is actually to make Nigeria, or they make the young people of Nigeria a bit competitive globally. All right, so it's not as if Nigerian youths are lazy, because I remember at the early stage of Buhari's government, he called Nigerian youths to be lazy youths. All right, calling them lazy youths, and that received a lot of backlash. So Peter Obi is telling us here that Nigerian youths are not lazy. It's just because opportunities are not before them and the government is not providing opportunities, right? But his own government, when he eventually gets into power, is actually to make young Nigerians globally competitive. And if you look at it very well, you see that Nigerians who are able to jackpot and leave this country are doing very well, especially those that left legitimately, all right? Either as students or have secured jobs or as business people, actually are doing well abroad. And they are able to compete in no distant time, all right? But in Nigeria, such people have been so idle and so disenfranchised that they became hopeless, all right? They became so hopeless and their potentials buried. But immediately, some of those people who were able to live, immediately they left, they recover their destiny very fast. But I know that this government is not ready to help anybody. This government actually want people, not just this government, all the Nigerian politicians. A lot of them want Nigerians to remain disenfranchised so that they will continue to dominate and continue to subdue and continue to dictate for Nigerians. That is their heart desire. So that they will remain the best as godfathers everywhere, and then nobody will be able to challenge them. All right. Unfortunately, Nigeria is so diverse that it's not every individual or every tribe that will accept that. All right. We can't accept that. Nigerians will continue to work hard to meet their destiny potentials, no matter the situation. And that's why you see, because they are relentless, because they are tenacity, they succeed anywhere they go. Unfortunately, Nigeria is not valuing the youths that are actually the backbone of the productive scene of Nigeria, because actually the youths actually between age of 20 up to the age of 55, that is the productive age of every nation citizen. Unfortunately, all of these have been disenfranchised completely. No opportunity in business, no opportunity to work, and no way to live their life the way they have to live it to maximize their life potential. And that's why you see a lot of people are running out, because this place is something else. It's an IDP camp, actually, according to Peter Obi. It's an IDP camp. Nigeria is an IDP camp. That is the truth. Everywhere Nigeria is IDP. Even the ones inside their houses are not having peace. They are scared. All right. So how is that different from a typical IDP camp? So Nigeria is a complete IDP camp, and something has to be done differently come 2023 to redeem Nigeria from the state it is right now. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment below for sharing. That's what Peter B is saying about the state of Nigeria.